Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much for your kind association. Please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti vaishnava vrinda ki jai. Om अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण. So dear devotees, we are continuing our study of Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 1, Text 21 onwards. We are studying the genealogical table of the daughters of Manu. But before that, let us, actually I don't have the verses today, so we'll skip the memorization verses for today. We will just chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam 4.1.21. तप्यमानं त्रिभुवनं प्राणायामैधसाग्निना निर्गतेन मुनेर्मूर्ध्नः समीक्षा प्रभवस्त्रयः. While Sri Atri Muni was engaged in these severe austerities, a blazing fire came out of his head by virtue of his breathing exercise, pranayam. And that fire was seen by the three principal deities. Prabhavastraya means the three Prabhus, the three principal deities of the world. That is Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu. They saw the severe austerities that Sri Atri Muni was performing. Remember, Atri Muni is the husband of Srimati Anasuya Devi. They are both very pious and they want to perform austerities because they want the Supreme Lord as their child, as their son. Purport. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, according to Srila Jiva Goswami, the fire of pranayam is mental satisfaction. That fire was perceived by the super soul Vishnu, and thereby Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva also perceived it. Sri Atri Muni, by his pranayam, his breathing exercise, concentrated on the super soul, the Lord of the universe. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Lord of the universe is Vasudeva. Vasudeva Sarvamiti. And by the direction of Lord Vasudev, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva work. So Atri Muni was very satisfied that self-satisfaction is the fire of pranayam, which was perceived by Lord Vishnu. And we all know that being satisfied is an essential quality that pleases Krishna. Can someone quote a verse where Lord Krishna says that he wants us to be satisfied? Bhagavad Gita, Santushta Sadatam Yogi, 12th chapter, Lord Krishna says. Also in Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Krishna says, Santushta Yena Kenava. The way to please the Supreme Lord is to be satisfied. When we are dissatisfied, we don't make spiritual progress because dissatisfaction means uncontrolled material wants. But when our material wants are controlled, then the person says, I'm satisfied. 22. Apsaro muni gandharva siddha vidyadharo ragaihi vitayamana yashasaha tad ashrama padam yayu. At that time, the three deities, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu, approached the hermitage of Sri Atri Muni, accompanied by Apsara, Muni, Gandharva, Siddha, Vidyadhar, accompanied by the denizens of heavenly planets such as the celestial beauties, the Gandharvas, the Siddhas, the Vidyadharas, and the Nagas. Thus, they all entered the ashram of the great sage Sri Atri Muni, who had become famous by his austerities. We saw how he did austerities for a very long time. Purport: it is advised in the Vedic literatures that one should take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one who is the Lord of the universe, the master of creation, the maintenance, the dissolution. One should take shelter of Krishna because Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Ishvara Parama Krishna. Matchitta Sarva Durgani Mat Prasada Tarishasi. Anityam Asukham Lokam Imam Prapya Bhajasvamam Sarva Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. We have to take shelter of Krishna only, no one else. Text 23. Tat pradurбhava samyoga vidyotita manamunihi uttishtan ekapadena dadarsha vibudhar shabhan. We are seeing how Sri Atri Muni is performing tapasya standing on one leg. The sage was standing on one leg, ekapadena uttishtan, but he was awakened from his meditation by the presence of the three principal deities. As soon as he saw that the three deities, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu, had appeared before him, he was so pleased. He was very happy to see all of them together that despite great difficulty, he approached them on one leg because he had taken a vrat that he will stand on one leg to do tapasya. Now, suddenly, these deities appeared, so he wanted to approach them. But his vrat was, I will stand on one leg. So, on one leg, he was hopping. You know how we used to play langdi in childhood? You have to. So, he was just hopping on one leg and hopping, hopping, hopping. He went to the three deities, Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu. Text 24. Pranamya dandavad bhuma upatasthe रणंजलि वृष हंस सुपर्णस्थान स्वय स्वयश्चिन्नश्च चिन्हितान. Thereafter, Sri Atri Muni began to offer prayers to the three deities who were seated on three different carriers. They had their own carriers. A Vrisha on the bull. Who sits on the bull? Lord Shiva. Hamsa, the swan. Who sits on the swan? Lord Brahma. And Suparna, the beautiful winged bird, Garuda. Who sits on Lord Garuda? It is Bhagwan Shri Vishnu. And they were having different vehicles and they were having different shastra also in their hands. Lord, their own symbols also they were holding. Dandavad is the Damru Lord Shiva was holding. Kushagras, Lord Brahma, who is expert at performing yajnas. And disc, Chakra. Chakra is in the hand of Lord Vishnu. He is Chakradhara. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains, Pranamya Dandavat. When Atri Muni approached the three deities, Danda means like a rod and Vat means like. Like a danda, he fell in front of Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. Srila Prabhupada says, before a superior, one has to fall down on the ground just like a stick. This sort of offering of respect is called Dandavat. Shri Atri Rishi offered his respect to the three deities in that way. Srila Prabhupada says, Lord Vishnu was sitting on Garud, and in his hand he was holding the Sudarshan Chakra disc. Brahma was sitting on a swan, and in his hand he held Kusha grass. Lord Shiva was sitting on a bull, Vrishab, and in his hand he was carrying a small damru, Srila Prabhupada says. Shri Atri Muni recognized these three great personalities, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, by their symbolic representation and their different carriers, and then he offered them prayers and respects. So we should know these details about the great personality so that by good fortune, when we come face to face, we are able to recognize them. Or when we are having discussion, we are able to describe them properly, we are able to glorify them properly. 25. कृपावलोकेन हसद् वदनेनोपलम्बितान् तद्रोषिसा प्रतिहते निमील्य मुनिरक्षिणी. Shri Atri Muni was greatly pleased to see that the three devas were gracious towards him. His eyes were dazzled by the effulgence of their bodies, and therefore he closed his eyes for the time being. Nimilya Munir Akshini. Nimilya means closing. Unmilya means open. Chakshur unmilitam. Yena. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. But he closed his eyes because of the glaring effulgence. Pratihate Rochisha. Rochisha means the effulgence. He had to close his eyes. Purport. Since the three deities, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, were smiling, Shri Atri Muni could understand that they were pleased with him. Haribol. Their glaring bodily effulgence was intolerable to his eyes, so he closed his eyes for the time being. Texts 26, 27. Chetastad pravanam yunjan astavit samhatanjalihi shlakshnaya suktaya vacha sarvaloka gariyasaha. Shri Atrir uvacha विश्वोद्भवस्थितिलयेषु विभज्यमानैर् मायागुणैरनुयुगं विगृहीतदेहा ते ब्रह्म विष्णुगिरिशा प्रणतोऽस्म्यहं वस् तेभ्यः क एव भवतां म इहोपहूतः. But since his heart was already attracted by the deities, somehow or other, he gathered his senses and with folded hands and sweet words, he began to offer prayers to the predominating deities of the universe. Now, Sri Atri Muni has been performing tapasya for many years. His wife, chaste wife, Sri Anasuya Devi, has been also supporting him and performing austerities to the Supreme Lord along with him. Atri Muni has been standing on one leg, fixed in meditation on Lord Vishnu, completely satisfied, not wanting anything material. They just want to have a child just like the Supreme Lord. And suddenly his meditation, Atri Muni's meditation is broken, and Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva have appeared in front of him right in his ashram, accompanied by all the Devas, Siddhas, Chanaras, everyone. So on one leg he goes limping to them, and like a rod he falls down and offers his respects. And then after offering his respects, he is going to speak sweet words. Since his heart was already attracted by the deity, somehow or other he gathered his senses, folded hands, sweet words, he began to offer prayer to the three devas of the universe, principal devas. Now Atri Muni is going to offer prayers. So let's hear what is the prayer. Shri Atri Muni said, O Lord Brahma, O Lord Vishnu, O Lord Shiva, you have divided yourself into three bodies by accepting the three modes of material nature. See clearly, Maya Gunai Vibhajyamana. Vibhajan means to divide. Chaturvarna Maya Srishtam Gunakarma Vibhagasha. Vibhag means to divide. Shri Atri Muni is saying, Vibhajyamanai Maya Gunai, to take care of the three modes of material nature. O Lord, you have manifested yourself in three guna avatars. Three guna avatars. Vishnu, Brahmaji, Shivji. Lord Vishnu, Brahmaji, Shivji. Atri Muni knows that and he's saying, as you do in every millennium for the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the cosmic manifestation. Brahmaji creates, Lord Vishnu maintains, and Lord Shiva annihilates. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all of you and beg to inquire whom of you three I have called by my prayer. You will remember that Atri Muni was not such a great devotee of Bhagavan. He was a great mystic, he was a sadhu, but he did not have proper understanding of Bhagavan. So he just was meditating on the Supreme Lord. And now suddenly three deities have come. So he's wondering, which one of you did I pray to? Which one of you did I call? Purport. Srila Prabhupada writes, Shri Atri Rishi called for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Jagad Ishwar, the Lord of the universe. Oh Lord, whoever you are, please come. Like that he called. And now suddenly three deities came. So he was confused. Atri Muni said that Jagadishwar, the Lord of the universe, must be one of you, but since three of you have appeared, I cannot recognize whom I have called. You are all so kind. Please let me know who is actually Jagadishwar, Lord of the universe. Hare Krishna. Therefore, he prayed to all three of them, kindly let me know who is the transcendental Lord of the universe. He was certain, of course, that not all of them could be the Lord, but the Lord of the universe was one of the three. But he didn't know who is that. Text 28. Eko mayeha Bhagavan, Eko mayeha Bhagavan, Vividha Pradhanesh, Chitti Krita Prajanaya, Chitti Krita Prajananaya Katham Nuyuyam. अत्रागतास्तनुभृतां मनसोऽपि दूरात् ब्रूत प्रसीदत महानिह विस्मयो मे. Shri Atri Muni is praying to the three devas. I called for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Jagad Ishwar, desiring a son just like him, and I thought of him only. But although he is far beyond the mental speculation of man, all three of you have come here. Kindly let me know how you have come, for I am greatly bewildered about this. I called one Supreme Lord, and all three of you came. So please tell me, what is the mystery? Purport. Sri Atri Muni was confidently aware that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the Lord of the universe. So he prayed for the one Supreme Lord. He was surprised, therefore, that three of them had appeared. Text 29. Shri Maitreya Uvacha. Shri Maitreya Muni is telling the story to Mahatma Vidurji. Iti tasya vacha shrutva trayaste vibhu dharshavaha pratyahu shlakshnaya vacha prahasyatam rishim prabho. The great sage Shri Maitreya Muni continued telling Mahatma Vidur. Upon hearing Atri Muni speak in that way, the three deities, great deities, smiled and they replied in sweet words, in the following sweet words. Atri Muni saying, thank you for coming, all of you are so merciful. I had called for the Supreme Lord. Can you tell me out of you three, who is that Supreme Lord? So now, Deva Uchuhu. Deva is used because plural. All of them spoke to him. Deva Uchuhu. Yatha kritaste sankalpo भाव्यं तेनैव नान्यथा तत्संकल्पस्य ते ब्रह्मन् यद्वै ध्यायति ते वयम्. O Brahman, the three deities, Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Shiva said, O Atri Muni, dear Brahman, you are perfect in your determination, your sankalpa. is perfect. And therefore, as you have decided, so it will happen. It will not happen otherwise. Na anyatha. What you said, that will happen. Because you have Sat Sankalpa. Sat Sankalpasya te Brahman. Oh Brahman, your Sankalpa is very good. Therefore, as you have decided, that is what will happen, not otherwise. We are all the same person upon whom you were meditating. And therefore, we have all come to you. The Supreme Jagad Ishwar, this Jagat has three Ishwars, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. So they all came. He said, we are all one person. We are all the same person. Because ultimately, it is the Supreme Lord, Narayan, who appears in these three Guna avatars. Ete Chamsa Kala Pumsa, Krishnastu Bhagwan Swam. We are all the same person upon whom you were meditating, therefore we have all come. Now, we need Srila Prabhupada's purport, isn't it? When three personalities say we are one, suddenly our ding 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 ding, the Mayavad alert goes off in the minds of Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So we need Srila Prabhupada's purport here. Purport. Shri Atri Muni unspecifically thought of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We all understood that. He said, Oh Lord, whoever you are, like that. Unspecifically, he called. He didn't specify. He called for the Lord of the universe, although he had no clear idea who the Lord of the universe was. Srila Prabhupada continues, Lord Mahavishnu, from whose breathing millions of universes emanate, and into whom they are again withdrawn, may be accepted as the Lord of the universe. Okay, so one Lord of the universe is Mahavishnu, also called as Karanodakashayi Vishnu. Next, Srila Prabhupada says, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu, from whose navel sprouted the lotus flower, which is the birthplace of Lord Brahma, may also be considered Lord of this universe. Similarly, Lord Kshirodakshayi Vishnu, who is the super soul of all the living entities in this universe, and who is present in every atom, Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham, he may also be considered Lord of the universe. Then, under the order of Kshirodakshayi Vishnu, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva may also be accepted as lords of the universe. Being inspired by Lord Vishnu, Brahmaji creates Atra Sargo Visargascha, and Lord Shiva annihilates. So Lord Shiva also may be considered to be Ishwar. Vishnu is the Lord of the universe because he is its maintainer. Similarly, Brahma creates the 14 planetary system and the population consisting of 8.4 million species. So he is also universe Lord. Lord Shiva, who is ultimately the destroyer of the universe, also may be considered its Lord. Therefore, since Atri Muni did not specifically mention whom he wanted, all three, Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, came before him. They said, since you are thinking of having a son exactly like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Lord of the universe, your determination will be fulfilled. Srila Prabhupada writes something very important, dear devotees. I would like all of you to remember this sentence of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada writes, in other words, one's sankalpa, one's desire, one's determination is fulfilled according to the strength of one's devotion. In Marathi, they say, Mani nahi bhav, mane deva mala pav. You don't have devotion and you still want to see Krishna. Not possible. Srila Prabhupada is clearly saying, one's determination is fulfilled according to the strength of one's devotion. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tam sathaiva bhajamyam. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 9.25, yanti deva vrata devan pitrin yanti pitrivrataha. If one is attached to a particular demigod, you are doing Ganpati Puja, Ganpati Puja, Ganpati Puja, you will go to, if you properly worship, you will attain Lord Ganesh. Yanti Deva Vrata Devan. Somebody is a Durga Bhakta. You will attend Ma Durga, Mother Parvati, Bhavani Mata. Somebody is a Shiva Upasak. They will attend Lord Shiva. Yanti Devavrata Devan. If one is attached to the Pitas or forefathers, one is promoted to their planet. And similarly, Mad Bhakta Yanti Mamapi. One is attached to Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, one is promoted to the abode of Krishna, Krishna Lok. Sri Atri Muni had no clear conception of the Lord of the universe, therefore, three presiding deities who were actually lords of the three departments, three modes, Sattvagun, Rajogun, Tamagun, came before him. Now, according to the strength of his determination for a son, like the Supreme Lord, his desire would be fulfilled by the grace of the Lord. You see, two fingers too short. Our determination, our bhajan, and then Prabhupada says, fulfilled by the grace of the Lord. Then we also need divine grace. We need grace of the Lord also. 31. अथास्मद् अंशभूतास्ते आत्मजालोक विश्रुताः भवितारोऽङ्गभद्रं ते विस्रप्स्यन्ति च ते यशः. The three deities, Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, are telling Sri Atri Muni, you will have sons who will represent a partial manifestation of our potency. Athasmad Amsha Bhuta. Amsha Bhuta means our partial manifestation will be there. And because we desire all good fortune for you, Bhadramte, those sons will glorify your reputation throughout the world. Atri Muni, son is Dattatreya. Father's name is there. Your reputation will be glorified throughout. Visrapsyanti means to spread. Chate yashaha, your yash, your kirti, your glories, your fame will be increased by your sons. Text 32. Evam kamavaram datva prati jagmu sureshwaraha sabhajitas samyak dampatyor mishatostataha. Thus, while the couple looked on, Sri Anasuya Devi and Sri Atriman looked on, the three deities, Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Maheshwar, disappeared. They disappeared from that place after bestowing upon Atri Muni the benediction. They gave the benediction, Kamavaram. They gave Vardhan. Yes, 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 yes. Your Kamana, your desire will be fulfilled. But then they suddenly disappeared, just as they had come. 33. Somo bhut brahmanom shena datto vishnostu yogavid durvasa shankarasyaamsho nibodhang girasa prajah. Very beautiful words. Thereafter, from the partial representation of Lord Brahma, the moon god Soma was born. From the partial representation of Lord Vishnu, the great mystic Dattatreya was born. And from the partial representation of Lord Shankar, Lord Shiva, Sri Durvasa Muni was born. Now you may hear from me of the many sons of Angira Muni. Angira's wife Shraddha gave birth to 4 daughters named Sinivali, Kuhu, Raka, and Anumati. Angira Muni and Shraddha had 4 daughters, Sinivali, Kuhu, Raka, Anumati. 35. Tatputra aparavastam ख्यातो स्वारोचिष्यन्तरे उतथ्यो भगवान् साक्षात् ब्रह्मिष्ठश्च बृहस्पतिः. Besides these 4 daughters, Sri Angira Muni and his wife Shraddha Devi also had two sons. One of them was known as Utathya, and the other was the learned scholar Shri Brihaspati. Haribol, the teacher of the demigods, Brihaspati, son of Angira Muni and Shraddha Devi. पुलस्त्यो जनयत् पत्न्याम् अगस्त्यं च हविर्भुवि सौम्या जन्मनि धराग्निर्विश्रवाश्च महातपाः. Pulastya Muni begot in his wife Havirbhu one son of the name Agastya, who in his next birth became Dharagni. Besides him, Pulastya Muni begot another very great and saintly son whose name was Vishrava. Tasya yaksha patirdeva kuberast idavida sutah ravana kumbhakaranascha tathanyasyaam vibhishanah. Vishrava had two wives. The first wife was Idavida, from whom Kuver, the master of all yakshas, was born. Vishrava had two wives. Vishrava and Idavida gave birth to Kuver, who is Yakshapati. And the next wife was Keshini. Keshini. Vishrava and Keshini gave birth to three sons, Ravan, Kumbhakarna, and Vibhishan. That's how Kuver and Ravan are cousins. They have the same father, Vishrava, but different mothers. Kuver is son of Idavida, and Ravan, Kumbhakarna, Vibhishan are sons of Keshini. Text 38. Pulahasya gatir bharya trin asuta sati sutan karma shreshtham variyamsam sahishnum chamahamate. Gati, the wife of the sage Pulaha, gave birth to three sons named Karma Shrestha, Variyan, and Sahishnu, and all of them were great sages. So this Pulaha Rishi, his wife Gati, they gave birth to three sons, all were great sages. Karma Shrestha, Variyan, and Sahishnu. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, Gati was the fifth daughter of Kardama Muni. Remember, we're talking about the 9 daughters of Kardama Muni. These 9 daughters of Kardama Muni are given to different sages in marriage. Angira Muni, Atri Muni, Pulastya Muni, like that. So we are hearing about them. Kratorapi kriya bharya Valakhilyan asuyata Rishin Shashti Sahasrani Jwalato Brahma Tejasa. Kratu Muni, his wife was Kriya, another daughter of Sri Kardama Muni and Mother Devavati. Now, Kratu and Kriya, Kratu Muni and his wife Kriya, gave birth to 60,000 great sages named the Valakhilias. All these sages were greatly advanced in spiritual knowledge and their bodies were illuminated by their spiritual knowledge. Valakhilias. Kriya was the sixth daughter of Kardama Muni and she produced 60,000 sages, Valakhilias, because they all retired from family life as Vanaprasthas. Srila Prabhupada is telling in the purport. Text 40. Urjayam Jagnire Putra वशिष्ठस्य परन्तप चित्रकेतु प्रधानास्ते सप्त ब्रह्मर्षयो मलाः. The great sage Vashishta begot in his wife Urja. So Urja, a daughter of Sri Kardama Muni and Mother Devahuti, was given in marriage, Kanyadan, to Sri Vashishta Muni. So Sri Vashishta Muni and his wife Urja, who is also called as Arundhati, She's also one of the chaste ladies, celebrated chaste lady. Anasuya Devi, wife of Shri Atri Muni, and Arundhati or Urja, the wife of Vashishta Muni. She is also celebrated chaste woman. So Vashishta Muni with Arundhati begot seven sages headed by the sage named Chitraketu. She gave birth to Sapta Brahmarishi, seven Brahmarshis. Chitraketu Surochischa Virajamitra Evacha Ulbano Visubhridyano Dyuman Shaktyadayo Pare. The names of these seven sages, who are the sons of Vashishta Muni and Arundhati. The seven sages are called Chitraketu, Surochi, Viraja, Mitra, Ulbana, Vasubhradhyana, and Dyuman. Some other very competent sons were born from Vashishta's other wife. Urja or Arundhati was the wife of Vashishta Muni and was the ninth daughter of Kardama. Text 42. Chittist atharvana patni lebhe putram dhritavratam dadyancham ashvashirasam bhrigorvamsham nibodhame. Chitti, wife of the sage Atharva, gave birth to a son named Ashvashira by accepting a great vow called Dadyancha. Now you may hear from me about the descendants of the sage Bhrigu. Now, the wife of Atharva, called Chitti, was also called Santi. Chitti or Santi, she was the eighth daughter of Kardamuni. Text 43. Bhrigu khyātyam mahabhagah patnyam putran ajijanat धातारम च विधातारम श्रियम च bhagavat param. The sage Bhrigu was highly fortunate. In his wife, known as Khyati, he begot two sons, Dhata and Vidhata, and one daughter named Shri, who was very much devoted to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Shriyam cha Bhagavat Param, great devotee of Bhagavan Vishnu. 44. Ayatim niyatim chaiva sute merustayor adat tabhyam tayor abhavatam mrikandah prana evacha. So Bhrigu Muni and Khyati. They had two sons, Dhata Vidhata, one daughter, Shri. The sage Meru had two daughters named Ayati and Niyati, whom he gave in charity to Dhata and Vidhata. Ayati and Niyati gave birth to two sons, Mrikanda and Prana. Markandeyo Mrikandasya Pranad Vedashira Munihi Kavischa Bhargavo Yasya Bhagavan Ushana Sutaha. From Mrikanda Muni, Markandeya Muni was born, and from Pran, the sage Vedashira, whose son was Ushana, Shukracharya, also known as Kavi. Thus, Kavi also belonged to the descendants of Bhrigu Muni, Bhrigu dynasty. Shukracharya was born. Shrinvata Shraddadhanasya Sadya Papa Hara Paraha Prasutim Manavim Daksha Upaye Me Ajatmajaha. Shri Maitreya Muni is saying, my dear Vidur, the population of the universe was thus increased by the descendants of these sages and the daughters of Shri Kardama Muni. Anyone who hears the description of this dynasty with faith will be relieved from all sinful reactions. Shrinvata Shraddadhanasya Sadhya Papa Hara Para. Immediately the sins will be destroyed. We have to hear with faith. Another of Manu Maharaja's daughters, known as Prasuti, married the son of Lord Brahma named Daksha. Hare Krishna. Brahmaji's son is Daksha. And Manu Maharaj's one of the daughters of Manu Maharaj called Prasuti was married to Daksha. Tasyam sasarja duhitrihi षोडशामललोचनाः त्रयोदशादाधर्माय तथैकाम् अग्नये विभू. Daksha begot 16 very beautiful daughters with lotus like eyes in his wife Prasuti. Of these 16 daughters, 13 were given in marriage to Dharma, and one daughter was given to Agni. पितृभ्य एकां युक्तेभ्यो भवायैकां भवच्छिदे श्रद्धा मैत्री दया शान्ते स्तुष्टि पुष्टि क्रियोन्नतिः बुद्धिर्मेधा तितिक्षा मूर्तिर्धर्मस्य पत्न्यः श्रद्धा सूत शुभं मैत्री प्रसादम् अभयं दया शांति सुखम मुदम तुष्टिः स्मयं पुष्टिरसूयत योगम क्रियोन्नतिर्दर्पम् अर्थम बुद्धिरसूयत मेधा स्मृतिं तितिक्षा तु क्षेमं ह्री प्रश्रयं सुतम् मूर्ति सर्वगुणोत्पत्तिर्नर नारायणावृषि. One of the remaining two daughters of Daksha was given in charity to the Pitralok, where she resides very amicably, and the other was given to Lord Shiva, who is the deliverer of sinful persons from material entanglement. The names of the 13 daughters of Daksha who were given to Dharma are Shraddha, Maitri, Daya, Shanti, Tushti, Pushti, Kriya, Unnati, Buddhi, Medha, Titiksha, Ri, and Murti. These 13 daughters produced the following sons. Shraddha gave birth to Shubha. Maitri produced Prasad. Daya gave birth to Abhay. Shanti gave birth to Sukha. Tushti gave birth to Muda. Pushti gave birth to Smaya. Kriya gave birth to Yog. Unnati gave birth to Darpa. Buddhi gave birth to Artha. Medha gave birth to Smriti. Titiksha gave birth to Kshema. And Hri gave birth to Prashraya. Murti, a reservoir of respectable qualities, gave birth to Sri Naranarayan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yayor Janmannado Vishwam Abhyanandat Sunirvritam Manamsi Kakubhovata Prasedu Saritodrayaha. On the occasion of the appearance of Naranarayan, the entire world was full of joy. Everyone's mind became tranquil, and thus, in all directions, the air, the rivers, and the mountains, everything became pleasant when Sri Naranarayan, the Supreme Personality of God, appeared. Div avadyanta turyani petu kusuma vishtayah munayas tushtus tushta जगुर्गन्धर्व किन्नराः नृत्यन्ति स्म स्त्रियो देव्या आसीत् परममङ्गलम् देवा ब्रह्मादयः सर्वे उपतस्थुरभिष्टवैः. In the heavenly planets, bands began to play and they showered flowers from the sky. The pacified sages chanted Vedic mantra. All this is because Naranarayan appeared, Supreme Lord. The denizens of heaven, known as Gandharvas and Kinnaras, sang. The beautiful damsels of heavenly planets, Apsaras, danced. And in this way, at the time of appearance of Narayan, all signs of good fortune were visible. Shri Shri Naranarayan ki jai. Just at that time, great demigods like Lord Brahma also offered their respectful prayers. Deva Uchuhu. The Devatas are offering prayers. यो मायया विरचितं निजयात्मनीदं खे रूपभेदमिव तत् प्रतिचक्षणाय एतेन धर्मसदने ऋषिमूर्तिनाद्य प्रादुश्चकार पुरुषाय नमः परस्मै. Demigods, headed by Lord Brahma, prayed to Sri Sri Naranarayan. Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto the transcendental personality of Godhead who created as his external energy this whole cosmic manifestation, which is situated in him as the air and clouds are situated in space, and who has now appeared in the form of Nara Narayan Rishi in the house of Dharma. Hmm. In this verse, it is specifically stated, Yo Mayaya Virachitam. This indicates that the varieties are a manifestation of the energy of the Supreme Personality of God. All the variety in this world is energy of Krishna, Shakti of Krishna. The material varieties may be temporary, but they are not false. So, our Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta is this material manifestation, this whole material world is not false. It is temporary. It is dynamic. It is in a constant state of flux, constantly changing. It is asthir. It is not steady, but it is not false. The material energy is eternal. Sometimes devotees ask, will there be a time when all the residents of all the material universes will go to Vaikuntha? No, because the material creation, material energy is an eternal energy of Krishna. And Krishna has unlimited jivas, and the jivas will be there in this world. Because this material world, there is very important function. This material world is also part of Krishna's Leela. There is Prakat Leela or Prakat Leela. There is Bhauma Leela. This material world has very important function. It is in this material world that we get to see the Karuna, the mercy. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu. This Karuna Sindhu you get to see only in the material world. So it is inconceivable how, why, but this material world is also eternal. It keeps changing. That is the nature of the material world. But the spiritual world is nirvikar. It doesn't undergo transformations like this material world. It is always steady. But this time, material time, which conducts this material world, that Kal is eternal and Prakriti is also eternal. Ishwar is eternal. Jeev is eternal. Only karma of the jiva is temporary. Hari bol. It can be erased. Karmani nirdahati. Kintu cha bhakti bhajam. Text 57. Should we stop? नमामीश्वरं सच्चिदानन्दरूपं लसत्कुण्डलं गोकुले व्रजमानं यशोदाभियोलुकलाधवमानं परां दृष्टमत्यन्ततो धृत्यगोप्य रुदन्तं मुहुर्नेत्रयुग्मं मृजन्तं कराम्भुजयुग्मेन सातङ्कनेत्रम् मुहुश्वासकं पात्रे रेखाककण्ठ स्थितग्रैवं दामोदरं भक्तिबद्धम्. I need some sweetness. इति दृक्स्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम् तदीयेषु तज्ञेषु भक्तैर्जितत्वं पुनः प्रेमतस्तं शतावृत्ति वन्दे वरं देवमोक्षं न मोक्षमदिं वा न चन्यं वृणेऽहं वरेषदपि इदं ते वपुरनाथ गोपालबालं सदा मे मनस्याविरास्तं किमन्ये इदं ते मुखाम्भोजम् अत्यन्तनीलैर्वृतं कुन्तलैस्निग्धरक्तैश्च गोप्या मुहुश्चुम्बितं बिम्बरक्तधरं मे मनस्याविरास्तामलं लक्ष्यलाभे नमो देव दामोदरानन्त विष्णो Prasida Prabho Dukkha Jalabdhi Magnam Kripa Drishti Vrishtyati Dinam Batanu Grihane Shamamadnyame Dakshi Drishya Kuberatmajau Baddha Murtavya Yadvat Tvaya Mochito Bhakti Bhajau Kritau Cha Tatha Prema Bhaktim Swakame Prayacha Namokshe Graho Mesti Damodareha Namaste Studamne Spuradipti Dhamne Tvadiyodarayatha Vishwasya Dhamne Namo Radhikaye Tvadiya Priyaye Namo Nantalilaaya Devaya Tubhyam. Hari Bol. This is the first day of Kartik, so let's end on a sweet note. Yes, Shama Kishori Mataji. Prabhuji, why you said that material world is eternal? Why you said why all jivas cannot go back to Godhead? This is capricious. This is cruel. This is unjust. This is unfair. The Karunamay heart of Shama Kishori Mataji will ask this question, I think. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Dandat Pranam, Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
It did cross my mind, but I raised my hand for something else. So I'll first ask what I raised my hand for, Prabhuji. First of all, thank you for the very nice class and the very sweet Damodar Ashtakam. It was wonderful.
Hare Krishna.
So, Prabhuji, last week I had a question which was on text 15. There it is said that Atma is not in the category of demigods or living entities because he is Vishnu. Therefore, he is called Vibhinnamsha Bhutanam. But I thought category of Vishnu is Swamsha and Vibhinnamsha is the Jiva category. Is it not?
In the purport, no? 1 second.
Yes, first paragraph.
Atma refers to super soul here, Paramatma. So, where in the purport you are in the second paragraph?
First paragraph,
First
Prabhu.
paragraph, okay.
Second
In
or
this
third
verse, we
line.
find the words Atma, Isha, Brahma, Sambhavan. Atma, Atma means super soul. Isha is Lord Shiva. Atma is Vishnu. Brahma is four-headed Brahma. Three sons of Anasuya, Shri Anasuya Devi and Shri Atri Muni, Dattatreya, Durva, Soma. They are born as partial representation of these three demigods. Atma is not in the category of the demigods or living entities because he is Vishnu. Therefore, he is described as, it should be Swamsha. You're right.
Should be, right?
Hmm.
Swamsha.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, it's a printing mistake. It should be Swamsha. Bhutana.
Thank you for clarifying.
Someone should email Dravida Prabhu. I don't have his email address, but let's see Vedabase. Many times the errors are corrected in Vedabase. So let's see Vedabase. 1 second. Let's open this Vedabase. 4
15.
1.
15.
Yeah, it needs correction. It should be Swamsha. Udana. Because therefore he, capital H, means referring to Lord Vishnu, described as Vibhinnamsha.
Yes. Okay.
1 second, let me read this. The super soul Vishnu is seed giving father of all living entities. Tattam Durvasam Sumam Atma Isha Brahma Sambhavan. Yeah, it should be, as far as my understanding goes, Mataji, it should definitely be Swamsha.
Prabhuji, in the purport it says in the Varaha Purana it is nicely explained that some of the parts are Swamsha and some are Vibhinnamsha. Vibhinnamsha parts are called Jivas. Swamsha parts are in Vishnu category. In Jiva category, the Vibhinnamsha parts and parcels, there are also gradations. So again, it's confirming that it should be Swamsha.
Yes, Yes, that's what I'm saying. It should be Swamsha.
Yes.
That
Thank you.
Vibhinamsha is a printing mistake. Needs to be corrected.
Okay. And Prabhuji, what you mentioned right now about, the jivas staying in the material world. So that, so is there hope for them? I mean,
No, there is hope. Actually, in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Lila, there is a discussion. Chaitanya Charitamrita Antya Lila. There is a discussion between Srila Haridas Thakur and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, where this discussion comes up that will there be a time where the whole material creation will be completely rid of all jivas and all the jivas will go to Vaikuntha. And then the conclusion of Srila Haridas Thakur and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is that there is no limit to how many jivas the Supreme Lord has. And the material creation is eternal. It is created, maintained, destroyed in a cyclical fashion, but it is here to stay, and there will always be innumerable jivas. There are so many in Ishopanishad in Bhakti Shastra we saw. There Prabhupada writes that in the Brahma Jyoti there are so many jivas, and sometimes the jivas develop this desire to enjoy in the material world, and the material creation is there, and then Krishna comes and helps the jivas come to Vaikuntha. So it's just inconceivable how this whole creation, spiritual world, material world, it's not so easy for us to understand. Even in today's world, there are so many scientific phenomena that are inconceivable that we don't know how they happen. What to speak of what Krishna is doing, the Supreme Person. So these things really we have to say achintya. It is achintya. Why the material world will always be there. But Chaitanya Charitamrita clearly says that it will always be there because there are so many. Krishna can fill the universe with innumerable jivas at any time, like that. Okay?
thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Keshavada Prabhu. And then,
Prabhuji, continuation of the same question, sorry.
hmm,
You just mentioned that Krishna can fill the material universe with innumerable number of jivas.
yeah.
Wouldn't Krishna desire that everybody goes back to Godhead? And second part of that is question is you also just mentioned that jivas who are currently in Brahmajyoti, they might at some point of time desire to enjoy.
Yes, Prabhuji. So this is Srila Prabhupada writes this in the purports of Ishopanishad, Shri Ishopanishad. It is there. Also, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur suggests this possibility in Jaiva Dharma. Srila Jiva Goswami says that nobody falls from Brahmajyoti.
Correct.
Brahmajyoti is a bona fide form of liberation and it is eternal. One doesn't fall. But many places, Srila Prabhupada writes, you must have read so many purports. There are dozens of purports where Prabhupada says one can fall from Brahmajyoti, which is appears to be um, differing from the view of Srila Jiva Goswami. But in Jaiva Dharma, I have found, of course, I have not read the original Bengali Jaiva Dharma, but the translation of Jaiva Dharma that is available to me, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also suggests this possibility that jivas may come to the material world from the Brahma Jyoti because in the Brahma Jyoti there is no Leela, there is no Seva, and the jiva's nature is to serve. Jivera Swarup hai Krishna Nityadas. So, like that. But there is um, no dearth of different topics, Prabhuji, where acharyas have taken different
Stand.
stance. Hmm. Some acharyas have said in the past that in Golok Vrindavan, Krishna is always um, Nava Yauvanamscha. He is Sham Sundar. And then there are acharyas who say that no, in Golok Vrindavan, there are prakoshas where Krishna is in Kumar Avastha also, performing Kumar Leela, not just Kishore Leela. So there are because different aspects of the absolute truth are revealed to different acharyas, Prabhuji.
Hmm.
And the acharyas describe what is revealed to them. What was revealed to Sri Valmiki Muni, he wrote in Valmiki Ramayana. What was revealed to Goswami Tulsidas ji, he revealed in Ramcharitmanas. According to Bhavishottara Puran, Valmiki Muni came as Goswami Tulsidas. That verse is also there. So Acharyas differ what Sri Kavi Karnapur is describing and saying that Krishna is always Nava Yauvanam in Golok Vrindavan, and what Srila Vishwanath Chakra Thakur is saying that no, there are different ages possible. So they are describing based on what Krishna is revealing to them, and we have to understand that Krishna is Ananta, Krishna is unlimited. There is a reason why even Ananta Shesh Bhagwan cannot, we say so many times, cannot describe what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did in Jagannath Puri in one day. With thousand mouths, he cannot discuss. So there is a reason. There was some reason why it's not an exaggeration. Really cannot do because even Lord Balaram, who is the supreme personality of Godhead, the first Swamsha expansion of Krishna, Sarva Avatari Krishna Swayam Bhagavan, Tahara Dvitiya Deha Shri Balaram. This Lord Balaram for one full year, can you imagine? He could not realize that all these friends are my brother Krishna. All these calves that I am grazing are Krishna. Even Balram could not understand. Krishna is really the ultimate boss. Krishna is only the ultimate. He is only controlled by Srimati Radharani. Nirantaram Vashikrita Pratiti Nandanandane. But yeah, it's I don't know how wow, whether maybe some jivas fall from Brahmajyoti. There can always be exceptions. But yes, it's a fact that the acharyas describe what is revealed to them. And Krishna is unlimited. He has different angles of vision. Just see how much where otherwise there will be no commentary on Bhagavatam.
Correct.
But because Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is getting some realization, Srila Jiva Goswami in Gopal Champu, today morning you were reading na, that Mother Yashoda was churning the butter and she was singing self-composed songs about Krishna's Leela. What those songs are, Srila Jiva Goswami writes in Gopal Champu. Now,
How?
how Jiva Goswami, to kaise pata chala? So the question may be asked that why Sanatan Goswami did not come to know, why Rupa Goswami did not come to know, why Sridhar Swami did not come to know, why Srimad Vallabhacharya, why only Srila Jiva Goswami. Krishna is revealing to Srila Jiva Goswami what that song was that day on the day of Diwali that Mother Yashoda was singing. He beautifully describes long big song Mother Yashoda has composed. So this is called Samadhi Bhasha. In their Samadhi, the different angles of vision of the Krishna Leela, Krishna Tattva, Rasa Tattva is revealed to the Acharyas and they share it with us. Hari Bol.
Yes.
But if you read the Antelila of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, there it is, this is discussed. And Mahaprabhu and Srila Haridas Thakur say that it's a fact that Krishna can just fill a universe with jivas. Kidhar se लाएंगे? But they're Krishna's energy. It's a jiva, the tatastha Shakti. It's Krishna's Shakti. Shakti is unlimited and eternal. Parasya
I
Shakti. Deva Shruyate.
I just realized, Roji, I need to confess that I shouldn't be worrying so much about it. That is what I have to understand, rather than trying to understand what Krishna is doing.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes. What our acharyas have taken, remember that famous story is there where Radhesham Prabhu challenged Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj about the calculation of the day of Brahma.
Correct.
And Maharaj called him in the afternoon. He had a whiteboard, he had a marker pen, and he had written down everything, analyzing. And Radhesham Prabhu was very humbled and he asked Maharaj, Maharaj, you didn't have to go through all this trouble. Maharaj said, no. What our acharyas have painstakingly explained, that we should try to understand. And things like how the jiva fell, did we fall from Vaikuntha, how the jiva falls. None of our acharyas, not even Vyasdev, anywhere in the Vedic literature addresses this question explicitly. So that means we should also not put our brains there. Otherwise, we will just come up with controversies and fights and difference of opinion and like that. So, but what our acharyas that we follow, Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami, what they have explained, that we should take pains, for lack of better word. We should painstakingly try to understand that. because they have painstakingly explained it. But other questions that come up, other topics that come up, we should not get distracted by that theory of evolution, moon landing, and this whether jivas fall from uh, Brahmajyoti or not. There is no chapter in Jaiva Dharma. Jivas falling from Brahmajyoti, yes or no, truth or myth. Nor does Bhagavad Gita have a chapter where do the jivas come from. But we give so much importance to that topic that we are willing to fight and leave institutions because of that. So we are that story that Maharaj tells of the crane. This is when I had gone to, where did I go just now? Houston. In the Bhakti Farm, we were having a nice program for newcomers. And I narrated the story from the journey within about the student of Shri Parasar Bhatta and the descendant of Sripad Ramanujacharya and Shri Anantacharya of Tirupati. Parashar Bhatta from Sri Rangam, and how the student wants to know what are the qualities that a spiritualist should develop. And then he finally gets the answer that you should be like salt, like chicken, like crane, like you. So crane stands in the river quite like Atrimuni on one leg sometimes. And looking at the flow of the river, and so many small fish pass by, allows them to pass. But when a nice bite size fish comes, the crane goes and grabs the fish and bloop, swallows. What we learn from this is we should focus on the things that matter, the important fish. The small fish, insignificant things of this world, controversial topics, they are not really got nothing to do with our eternal seva in the Nikunjas of Golok Vrindavan. So we should not focus too much on that. Another controversial topic is the Swarup developed by bhajan or is the Swarup already there?
Obtained already.
In the
Yes.
one lecture, Maharaj, a lecture called Uprooting the False Ego. 2019, Maharaj gave in Radha Gopinath temple immediately after the Kartik Yatra. It's on, if you go on YouTube, His Holiness Radhanath Swami, Uprooting the False Ego. In that, Maharaj in one sentence addresses this. Maharaj is not very important whether the Swarup is already there or the Swarup is developed, given by the Acharyas. The important thing is that we should get our Swarup. We should realize our Swarup. And Maharaj said all these things where we fell from, whether we fell or not, or we are already always been fallen. Maharaj said when we attain Krishna, we attain perfection, then those things will be revealed to us. We should not let them distract us now from our bhajan, from seva.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Wonderful answer. I mean, this is the culmination of all ever I would have any question like that. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. You remember talking about attributed value and actual value. We
Yes.
can apply that here.
Yes. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Yes, very last question. Divya Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, my question is about, you spoke about satisfaction and then you spoke about mercy of Krishna. So, just generally, my personal experience, I feel I've lost hope in being happy materially anyways. But at this point, I feel I've lost hope even in my future in spiritual life. And so I just feel that how can I be satisfied and how can I have faith and mercy of Krishna?
आशाबद्धम samutkanha namagane sadaruchi. We have to be hopeful always, and we have to develop and find taste in Krishna consciousness. Losing hope is a sign of mode of ignorance. And the only thing that works for tamogun is jiva jago, jiva jago. This is tamogun. I have lost hope in material life. Okay, that is good. I have lost hope in spiritual life. That is tamogun. So we have to wake up from tamogun. We have to get up and go to a place of goodness. So you have to give up this mentality. Nobody can help unless you help yourself. You have to give up this mentality that I have lost hope in spiritual life. How we can lose hope in spiritual life when all around us there are glorious examples of spiritual success? How we can lose hope? We have to be ostriches with closed eyes, heads buried underground to lose hope. How can you lose hope when there is example of Srila Rupa Goswami? How you can lose hope when there is example of Srila Raghunath Das Goswami? How you can lose hope when there is a success story of Srila Narottam Das Thakur? How you can lose hope when there is success story of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada? How you can lose hope after reading Prabhupada Lilamrit? How you can lose hope after seeing so many disciples of Srila Prabhupada perfect their lives and go back to Godhead? Where is the question of losing hope? We have to open our eyes. Eyes are closed. I am not able to see. Eyes are closed. There is darkness. Open your eyes. See the success of Krishna consciousness. Nobody can help if you don't help yourself. This negativity has to be given up. Just like you give up dirty clothes, just give up. Get in a shower, take a shower, wear fresh clothes, and you will feel fresh. You have to give up this negativity. I have lost hope. I have lost hope in spiritual life. Devotees are not treating properly. This is all negative. This tamogun, mode of ignorance, and nobody can help unless you help yourself. Give up this attitude, give up this mentality, and move to a place of goodness. Open your eyes. Nothing else will work. No amount of answering questions, no amount of chanting, no amount of reading, hearing will work. No amount of associating with devotees will help. Open your eyes and come out of this mode of ignorance. Hare Krishna.
But how?
See all these positive examples. Read Prabhupada Lilamrit. Read Narottam Vilas. Read Chaitanya Charitamrit. Your heart will jump in joy and dance in joy when you read Chaitanya Charitamrit. One success. See how Mahaprabhu is glorifying devotees. See how Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Read Bhakti Siddhanta Vaibhava. Read the seventh Goswami. Read the Charitra of the Vaishnava saints. So much enthusiasm is there. So much hope is there. But when we live in our own cocoon and well, nothing is working. Lost faith. Lost. What lost? Open the eyes. Read Prabhupada Lilamrit. Read the Black Lotus. Read Legacy of Love. Ladini Mataji. Heart will jump in joy. Chaitanya Charitamrit, Chaitanya Bhagavat. You'll feel such divine happiness. Divya happiness you'll feel, Divya Mataji.
And how to have faith in mercy of Krishna, when you feel like, because honestly, we are not like, at least I'm not strong enough to,
By
you
looking,
know,
by looking at our own lives, we can develop faith in Krishna. You look at your own life, how Krishna has pulled you. Look at the example in your own family. The essay that you sent me that day, isn't that hope giving? That this is a rare achievement, what has been achieved. Isn't it? Most people don't make it so far. So, this is Krishna's mercy. And when we see these personal interventions in our own life, we develop faith in Krishna's mercy. Krishna is giving chances. Krishna is reciprocating with us. Krishna is being super kind to us. How many opportunities we are getting to make spiritual advancement? How many opportunities we are getting for satsang? How many opportunities we are getting to chant the holy names of Krishna? This is Krishna's mercy on us. This should increase our faith in Krishna's mercy. If Krishna has given so much mercy, I was raised in Bombay, I was raised in a pious family, and then so many things happened, so many duties came, I got distracted. But then Krishna gave me association of some devotees, and then their health deteriorated. Then I got disconnected, but then again I got connected. Now I have got so many devotees, so many services are there. I have got a glorious spiritual master who is just celebrated his 69th Vyas Puja and is full of energy at the age of 69. These are all positive things. They should give us hope. Nach re amar man, nach re amar man, nach re amar man. So you should follow that. Sripad Vaisheshika Maharaj, he's your Gurudev. See how jolly he is. Problems will come, Mata. On the material level, we are doomed. Everybody is dead. Materially, we are all dead. Our parents, our generation, our kids' generation. And there we are materially, everybody has a death sentence. But the hope is spiritual. And the best way for spiritual hope is Bhakta Charitra. In my life, so many times I have felt exactly how you are describing, or even worse than that. Complete mode of ignorance. I feel like not doing anything, and I simply go to YouTube and put His Holiness Bhakti Tirth Swami, Ohe Vaishnava Thakur. I just listen to that 8-minute song sung by Gauravani Prabhu, and my heart is uplifted. I see one lecture of Srila Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaj, I see him chastise, and I'm out of my mode of ignorance. Jiv Jago happens. So we have to find our own stimuli, spiritual stimuli that bring us out of mode of ignorance. But this thought process that I have lost hope in spiritual, this is nothing but pure, unadulterated material tamogun, mode of ignorance. It's just an envelope of Maya. Wants you to think that this is not working. It is working so fabulously that Sripad Narad Muni is coming to Srila Prabhupada in Dallas in that room and giving darshan and asking, कैसे किया भाई? म्लेच्छ को कैसे तुम गोलोक वृंदावन ऐसा भेज रहे हो as if it is nothing. It's a fact. This is the golden age of Kali Yuga. And we are in a very, very positive, very, very optimistic time. We are in the golden age of Kali Yuga, where devatas want to take birth. So losing hope is the last thing I want to hear from you ever again. Never say that. Okay? You read Prabhupada Lilamrit, you see how much hope there is. You read Black Lotus, read about Ladini Mataji, read about so many wonderful devotees are there. You read Bhaktamal, you read our Gaudiya Vaishnava history, read about our Acharyas. Now Narottam Das Thakur's disappearance day is coming. You read um, Narottam Vilas. Everything is there on ISKCON Desire Tree. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat. What joy you feel when you read about Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. Just now there was the Tithi of Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj, how he reached Vrindavan, Srila Raghunath Bhatt Goswami, how he would recite Srimad Bhagavatam, how he would cook prasad for Mahaprabhu. When you read about all these things, you feel great joy, great hope. So be positive. Just, like I said, change dirty, sweaty, stinky clothes, take a shower. Sarvatma Snapanam. Snapanam means to take a shower. Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Wear fresh clothes of Krishna consciousness, open eyes, and be positive. Believe me, we are in the best period in history. We are perhaps more fortunate than the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And I am saying this after deep contemplation. Because those who were there on the planet 500 years ago never knew that a personality like Sripad Aindar Prabhu will be sitting with prickly heat on his back in the 50-degree heat of Vrindavan, coming born and brought up in America, and sit there and do 24-hour kirtan with ghungru in his ankles, doing the work of Kartal and banging on his harmonium, my crying baby, and singing alone. We know Gaur Govind Maharaj. We know our Gurugan. At that time, they didn't know about Narottam Das Thakur. Can you imagine not knowing about Srila Narottam Das Thakur? We are so fortunate. There has been no one as fortunate as you and me. Not even the associates of Srila Prabhupada. Because they have not seen this generation. So, which is the most fortunate time? Today. October 7th, 2025 is the most fortunate day. And I'm saying this with total conviction and with deep contemplation. There is no one more fortunate than us. We are more fortunate than even the associates of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada because they did not see what Abhay Babu did. Even if they theoretically heard, they have not experienced. We are getting to experience in Paschatya Desh. What is Srila Prabhupada's mercy? Who can be more fortunate than us? We are seeing Ghanshyam Prabhu becoming Bhakti Tirth Maharaj and gloriously leaving his body. We get to see Kadamakanand Maharaj's glorious example. There is nobody more fortunate than us. Hari Bol. So please be very happy and positive. And remember, whenever negative thoughts come, I am losing hope in spiritual life, mode of ignorance, it's Tamogun speaking to you. That's not you. You come out of it. Okay? We'll talk more on Friday.
Please pray for me. Yesterday was my birthday, so please
Hare
pray
Krishna.
for me. Yeah.
Dear devotees, let's all pray for our dear Divya Mataji that she is able to make more and more spiritual progress and be a source of inspiration to all of us also. Let's 3 times chant Hare Krishna for Divya Mataji. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
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 Ram,
Krishna,
Krishna,
Ram
Ram,
Ram.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram,
Krishna
Ram
Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram, Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Ram
Ram.
Ram.
Hare Ram,
Prabhupada
Hare
ki
Ram, Ram
Jai.
Ram,
Bhagavatam ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai.